Good afternoon. My name is Justin Hyelk. I'm doing a presentation um, on how to do beadwork. You ever been into a function, powwow, maybe a business meeting, and you want your own beadwork, or you want something to culturally identify yourself? Um, you might want to have something that is designed from your tribe, or maybe makes a statement, or you want to just rock it out and wear some nice beadwork. So today I am going to start with some of the materials you'll need. Um, you can use canvas, with a heavy canvas. It's sturdy, so your beadwork will last longer. You can use leather. You can buy this at your local leather store, shop, or whatever. And deer, elk, sheep, cow hides are some of the types of leather you'll be using. For that, a soft leather, tanned. Here I have some interfacing. It's a stiff material. You can iron your design on it, or you can directly draw on it. Now, if you want to use a loom, you can use a loom. I constructed this myself, designed it myself, and got the woods and materials to make a loom. So first off, you want to design. To me, I think designing is the hardest part. There's tools online you can get. Graph paper, which has the individual beads on it. You can put your own graphs on it, or designs on it, and start planning on what you want to bead, whether it's dance regalia, medallions, beadwork for belts, or hair ties for the ladies, earrings. So I started off with some tools that you can use to get started. First of all, you're going to need thread. There's different gauges to each project. Different thicknesses of thread. For earrings or smaller projects, you want to use a smaller, thinner thread. For moccasins, you want to use a stronger, sturdier thread. As far as your needles go, there's different size needles you can buy. For the smaller beads, you use a smaller needle with the smaller thread, and for the moccasins, you're going to want to use thicker needles and stronger thread. The reason you use that for your moccasins is because they're going to have wear and tear, so they're going to be roughed up pretty good while walking or using them. And here's some beadwork I did on leather. Here's some beadwork I did on fabric, the thicker sturdier fabric. And then here's some beadwork I did on the interfacing. So it's a stiffer, more rigid, where this material is able to bend. So depending on what you are making, you want to use your materials accordingly. The next thing you want to get is your choice of beads. There's different sizes of beads also. For your bigger projects like moccasins, you want to use a bigger bead. And for your smaller projects like this, you want to use smaller beads to get more detail. So after you make your design, you can use rulers, protractors, and of course markers or pens if you want to fill in the colors on here. So normally this is the first process. You want to design your pattern and then put it on whatever you're going to be beading. And then you'll start the beading process. So for most things, you want to have patience. It's not something you can do and put together right quick overnight. These moccasins for themselves took about 2 weeks, about a week each, just for the beading, and another week to put them together, a couple days to put them together. Something like this took me about a week, and another week to do the little medallion headpiece on it. So it's just like you're sewing. You want to apply your needle and thread up in through the bottom. And what I usually do first is do the design first. So I'll bead in my colors on my design, and then after that I'll do the fill-in, which is just one color. So I'll do the fill-in all last because it's just go with a certain color. There's a lot of ways and techniques to do beading. A lot of people do the one string bead, where you apply your needle through maybe about 8 beads, tack it down to your material, and then you're going to come back up halfway between those beads and go through the beads, and then continue your next line of beads. There's other people that do 2-string method, which they do a line of beads and then they take the second string and tack it down as they go. Do a line of beads and then tack it down. So it just depends on how you want your beadwork to lay. I do the 1-string beadwork, so there's not really any bumps or lines or anything, and it's a lot of stitching. A lot of tribes, they do the rows, so they'll do rows of beads. See, these are rows of beads here also. And I've learned just doing my own projects, learning the process, asking people, my elders, my mom and dad are some people that have influenced me into doing my own beadwork. So I took it on as starter projects, did some beadwork here and there, and once you get your technique down, they'll look um, considerably better, and you'll get a nice design, flat. You can use sparkles to do the edging, leather backing, and of course your lanyards, different styles of wrapping your ropes, or you can just use regular bigger beads. I always think about color contrasts. This is on leather, so I've actually did stitching all the way through, and that's where the pliers comes through, because you're gonna have to push the needle through the edge, the leather, and you always want to make circles if you're going to do circular beadwork. I started this one, and I have the circles to use as a guideline, but some of my beadwork hasn't always come out the way I wanted it to, but it's a learning process. So as I've gotten better at it, this is a medicine pouch. I did the edging. And I've done some other things like bears in a circular pattern. So as far as beadwork goes, you always want to design it first, and then you want to do the main design, the colors, and then the last you'll do. So I beaded this first, and then I did these, and then I did all the filling last. So that goes for all my, and you can bead around things like a mirror or something else. So I hope I gave you a little information on how to start your beadwork, what to get, what materials you can use, what tools you can use. I like to add it's part of Native American cultural identity, and I always use colors that are relevant to my tribe and designs that are relevant to my tribe, because that distinguishes you between different tribes. Not all tribes use the same designs. Woodland tribes, or the more northern tribes, they use floral designs, whereas the Sioux people, we use geometrical designs. Navajos are southern people. They have a different set of designs that mean something. So choose your colors, choose your design, and the right materials, and just practice. Practice makes perfect, and hopefully I get to see some of you guys' work. Thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me get the chance to show you exactly what goes into making some beadwork. So thank you. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.